If I could punch a guy, I would.
There's so much going on in this book.
Just...
It makes no sense. I have solved it all. Hello everyone, what's up and welcome back to another reading vlog. I'm quite excited for this vlog because I'm finally starting Fathom Folk by Eliza Chan. I requested this book November-ish and I've been putting it on the back burner because the due date for the book is only in February, like the end of February. And obviously when you're seeing this, I'll be done with the book. And the publisher also asked if there's going to be any social commentary on the book and everything. It has to be 2 weeks before the release date. And I was like, okay, yeah. This is a long time coming. I've worked really hard on this vlog. I have a lot of thoughts in this vlog, so strap yourself in for some dialogue. But what I can tell you about this book is we are in this world, Tiankawi, where humans and Fathom Folk, meaning sirens, kappas, kelpies, mermaids, live together, and on the surface it seems like a haven. But when you dig in deeper, you can see that humans are looking down at the Fathom Folk, like they're repressing them severely. And Myra, who is now appointed as the border captain, is trying to find a way in bringing Fathom Folk and human back together. And she kind of has a foot in the door because she's dating one of the ambassadors who continuously talks with the humans. So she hopes she can influence them on that kind of level so that the Fathom Folk is not as repressed. And then we get Nami, who has been exiled to Tiankawi because of things that she did. And she finds that Mira's approach to trying to solve this inequality between humans and Fathom Folk is too soft. So she joins the anti-human extremist group and they start a whole lot of protests and chaos in this world, and it's crazy. And then we also get Cordelia, who is a sea witch, and she knows how to tug strings so that she can influence both political parties in the human world as well as try and influence the Fathom Folk, the anti-human extremist group, and how she can influence them and try and bring them head to head together. And it's a story that just focuses a lot on social inequalities. I think there's a lot of conversations that can be had about this book, especially if you continue to read this book. But anyway, not the point I'm trying to make. I'll give you all my thoughts and feelings while we go through this book, and hopefully you guys enjoy this. Okay, let me send you back about 2 weeks when I started this vlog, or actually a month. Yeah, because it's I started this mid-January. It's now mid-February. Okay, let's go. Hello everyone. Okay, so I'm on 9%, no, 6. Why do I keep thinking it's 9? Anyway, of Fathom Folk. I don't know. Am I reading a new New York Times bestseller? Maybe. But for now, I am highly confused. There's two chapters so far where we follow 2 characters. And I see on the 3rd chapter, there's another character. I'm hoping it's not as confusing as when you start with Priory of the Orange Tree. Granted, I haven't finished that book yet. I soft DNF'd it 2 years ago and I haven't picked it up yet. So anyway, yeah, we are now following so far 3 people. And I don't know, you dive into the book and the author has this, I don't know how to explain it. You dive into the book with the author thinking you already know what is happening and who's who in the zoo. And I'm like, I need context. I need clarification, because now she's talking about Fathom Folk and I'm like, who that? Then she's talking about, I don't know, some group of 4 people who are also like kelpies and mermaids and stuff, and I'm confused as hell. I don't know what's happening, but I'm enjoying it. And then the 2nd chapter, we also follow like a dragon queen's daughter, and she's trying to save or get an egg, because it sounds like the Fathom Folk, who are mythical creatures, essentially. This is what I'm getting. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But the Fathom Folk are mythical creatures like mermaids and dragons and all that, and they live together with humans in this city. And it also sounds like, in the context of Nisha J. Tuli, if you heard what I've been talking about her, South Asian inspired, this also sounds like that. So I'm here for it because I'm enjoying it. And it sounds like the humans and the Fathom folk are like intermingling together, but also the humans still have control over the Fathom folk. It's messy. Like I said, I'm only 6% in, so I don't really know what is happening. And I'm confused, but it's fine. I'm here for the magic system, even though it makes no sense. Let's get cracking. Hello, update on Fathom folk. There's so much going on in this book. Like, in an enjoyable so much going on. But at the same time, I'm like, I need the characters to calm down. There's one character who's a dragon. I think I mentioned her. Her name is Nami. What is she doing? She's like a trouble child. Like, everything that's happening, she has an issue with. And she's just this jokester. She has a really big thing against authority. And the chapter I read now, she's been sent into exile because she tried to steal her mother's egg pull thing. I don't know, it's very complicated. She doesn't like the place and she's supposed to stay with her brother and his girlfriend or partner or whatever you want to call her. I don't know, she just has this attitude problem towards everyone. The god asks her, what are your plans while you're visiting? And she tells him, awesome. Like, no care in the world. That's all she does. And yeah, it's just, I don't know if she's the main character or we're actually following three main characters. We're following Mina, Nami, and then Serena. I think her name's Mina or Mila, one of the two. Anyway, we're following them. It's just chaos. Like, it's so much chaos. So from the get-go, I can tell you right now, Serena, I don't like. She is this woman with a lot of power. She comes from a poor background. Let's call it what it is. She comes from a poor background. So she built herself up and she married one of the senators or something, which was a disgrace on its own. But anyway, it sounds like she's Fathom folk, but we don't know because she can change her face. And that's all you get to know from her. The other thing you know from her is she likes to manipulate people to do her bidding. And I don't like her. Like, obviously, I know she's there for plot progression and she's there for a reason, but I do not like her. I like reading, like, the villain's kind of point of the story as well, but I don't know, she just grinds my gears in the wrong way. And then we get Mila, who has just been appointed captain to the city guard, and she's also dating, like, the ambassador of Tiankawi, and he's a prince of dragons, also Nami's brother. It's confusing. So she's facing her own perils because she is Fathom folk and people don't want Fathom folk to be in authority positions. So yeah, she's facing issues there. Or the fact that she is a siren, so they don't like her because sirens are inherently bad. Then we get Kai, he sounds sweet, but I also feel like, I don't know, I'm on the edge with him. Nami. Then we get Nami, who is a rebel of sorts, but I also like her. So her and Mila I really like. But Serena is just, there's something wrong. So that's also a problem. But I really am enjoying the lore behind this whole story, especially from the fact that I do love anything to do with mermaids and pirates. And there's no pirates so far in here. There are dragons though. It's very entertaining to read from. It's a new perspective. It's a fresh perspective. And it's just so different from what I'm used to, and I'm really enjoying it. Obviously, I can't say much because I'm like 17% in the book. So probably when I'm like 40% in, I can tell you more. From plot progression wise, I still don't know what's going on at all. I don't know what's happening. All I know is we have these three people, and that's about it. Where are we going with this, Mrs. Chan? I don't know. But we're going to figure it out together and we're going to thrive together. The chapters are luckily really short, so I am enjoying it. It's not this 20-page long chapter. Usually they're like 5 to 7, maybe 10 pages on Kindle. And because I have the ARC, it doesn't say how many pages you are, it just tells you your location, which is confusing as hell, and I don't know why Kindle implemented that, but we have that. So yeah, rant over. I was gonna start this video by saying, there's another point of view in the story, and now we're following the sea witch, whose name I've forgotten. It was something with a sea. I should really start writing these things down. What was her? Anyway, the sea witch, okay? And we start off with her point of view, and I'm like, I don't, why? Why are we getting more people? Like, I'm fine with 3 because each of these characters have their own sub-characters that we have to remember, and that's a lot. Especially for a first book, that's a lot. I mean, dive into the characters in the beginning and then bring a character in, say, like every 3 chapters, not every single chapter. Well, okay, there's just too much going on here. But besides the fact that there's so many characters that I have to start drawing lines as to who's who in the zoo, I'm enjoying this book. It really is just, I don't know, there's something that draws me in. I could do with a little less characters. Like, even if you just mention the characters, that would be fine. Like, say for example, Myra's Lieutenant General. Cool. But now we get his name and his subordinate next to him, and I'm like, I'm confused. So there's a lot of characters and it's rattling my brain, but I'll get through it. I think mainly because, not that this is a new genre, but it's a new book. And it's from a new author who's writing, I don't really know. I think that's why it's baffling me a bit, and that's why it's throwing me off. But by all means, don't let this scare you off of this book. I'm just merely saying you really need to you really need to focus to know who's who. I would suggest, if you pick up this book, keep a notepad next to you and write down who they are. That is all. Hopefully they all come into play in this book, otherwise their names would just be in vain. Oh, and the other thing, Serena can warp her features into another person. In the Sea Witches chapter, she talks about her children and her husband. Now I'm thinking, she can also warp her features and change her face and everything. I think those two are the same person. That is why she's so secretive in asking her children not to tell their father about her abilities, because secretly she's a sea witch. I have solved it all. And it's kind of weird because in the same light she works with the drawbacks who are against human people, and her husband is a human, part of, you know, the human society between the Fathom folk and stuff. Yeah. So I think it's me. I don't know, I could be wrong, but that's what I've gathered, so I'm gonna go with that. Tuesday, everyone. I thought I'd give you like a bit of a different angle because maybe you're tired of seeing my cupboard in the background. But anyway, it's fine. I have reached 37% of Fathom Folk and I am really enjoying this book. After I finally got into, you know, like the gist of it, it's really an enjoyable read. It also leans heavy on the social commentary of how humans are destroying the oceans and the the homes of the living creatures in these oceans. And yeah, it's hectic, but it's enjoyable. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I don't know how it's going to develop. One of the characters, Naomi, she was now in a very, how can I say, difficult situation, because the drawbacks who are trying to take back what is essentially theirs, like the ocean, they also want less human interference involved, because right now all the Fathom folk have like something on their wrist to prevent them from using their magic to their fullest potential. And now the drawbacks are trying to fight that because they don't want this limitation on them. I mean, it is who they are. And the humans are essentially scared that the drawbacks are going to use their magic to essentially annihilate the humans. And what they have now done is they've switched it around, and they were like, okay, so instead of being annihilated by nature, we're just gonna stop them from doing it. And one of the drawback characters actually just started beating one human. Like, he's half haggard. He doesn't have anything to do with the law of these things on their wrists. their wrists or anything in that particular thing, but this drawback wants to show power, and she starts pummeling this poor human who's basically a drunkard, and he's not sure what to do. Like he doesn't even know what's happening, because she instigated him and she's like, fight me. He's like, no, I don't want to fight you. Why? You told me there was going to be beer. This isn't. And she pushes him, and eventually she just starts beating the crap out of this guy. And Nami, who obviously doesn't want humans to overrule the Fathom folk, she's like, this isn't right, you need to stop this. And she talks to one of the characters that she's having this crush on, and she says to him, make her stop beating that poor guy that's like got nothing to do with the system. And he says, the tide is already in swing, you can't stop it. And I'm just like, why beat a guy senseless if he has nothing to do with the law or anything? And that is also like social commentary, like people will act out against whoever because they are mad at the law. For a specific kind of area, they will act out on that instead of addressing the situation towards these people, because they cannot get a hold of these people, so they act out. You know, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's a lot of social commentary in this book, but it's also really enjoyable. Like, I don't foresee how this is going to go. I have a feeling one of the characters might die because of gill rot. I don't know. I have that foreshadowing. It has not yet been confirmed whether the sea witch is the same as Serena. So I don't know. But yeah, I'm hoping to get to around 75% today if I can push it, see how far I can get with that, and then hopefully I'll finish it tomorrow. I have one thing to say about this book. Nami needs to stop being so naive. Like, I get why she is, but it's just so frustrating for me to read about a character that doesn't want to listen to anyone around her that says these people are bad. And then she's like, no, but they're doing it for a greater cause. Ma'am, the man is using you, or whatever he is using you. And she doesn't see it. So, I don't know. I don't know what to do with this situation. I'm just biting my tongue and continue reading. Happy Thursday, everyone. Guess who just reached 74%? It's close. I was gonna go for 75, but that's like the next chapter. Actually, the next chapter is at 76. While I like this book, it is also such an infuriating book. The pace is really slow. I think because it's high fantasy as well, it's really slow. And the fact that there's Asian mythology worked into it as well, I think it makes it quite difficult to get used to. So yeah, it's fun though. Alright, I'm really enjoying it. It's just that it's dragging so much. I discovered that this book is almost 500 pages long. So, you know, all I can say is the humans are frustrating. Nami is frustrating on her own naive level. And then we get the council, who are mostly humans. So, you know. Oh, and then we get Serena. She, on the one hand, I think she has this plan where she doesn't want Fathom folk to exist, even though she is one, because they treated her badly and her mother badly when she was younger. So I think she's having like this revenge plot going on, and it's very entertaining to read, but at the same time, I'm like, ma'am, please stop. You're annoying. So yeah, she's also, like I said, influencing her husband with Siren Song that's in like this pouch thing next to her hip. And the Siren Song has finally run out. And lo and behold, none of her plans are actually falling in order. That's a mess on its own. And also, Mira, I think I mentioned, has a dragon boyfriend. She's half siren and he's full on dragon. And we know that they've been dating from the start. There's no introduction to their relationship as first friends and then moving on. And I would have liked to see that, but at the same time, I can see why the relationship was made so that she was already in a relationship with him, because it really hammers on the fact that she's using her Siren Song to influence him. And I have a feeling she doesn't have a Siren Song because she sold it to the Sea Witch. It's kind of like a twist on The Little Mermaid with Ursula. I have a feeling it was inspired by that, and Eliza Chan just took that and expanded it to include every Kelpie, merfolk, you know, all that kind of thing. So that's really entertaining to see how you can take a spin on something. The initial thing obviously is the sea witch and how she's trying to bargain people's lives, but she's failing because some of her bargains have run out, some of the people have been killed, so she's slowly dying as well, or just fading, getting weaker. So I'm very curious to see what was going to happen. Things happened that I thought Nami was gonna die. I mean, that's still on the card, so I don't know. But yeah, very entertaining, very enjoyable. Help.
What? Okay. No way. What just happened? I need a minute. Dude. You son of a gun. Oh, ma'am, you are slow. It wasn't that funny. Okay, sorry. No. If I could punch a guy, I would. I cannot deal with this man. He's so gaslighty. Because you're naive and you're stupid. That's why. No!
That was beautiful. Okay, I had to sit long and hard with this book. So long and hard. Because in the middle somewhere, I just got so bored. Like, it's not that the plot wasn't progressing. It just felt like there wasn't any development going forward. Like, we're still in this middle catchphrase where we're fighting the humans and the humans are fighting Fathom Folk, and it's all just a jumble of stuff. And I'm like, okay, get to the point, please. So I don't know, if this book was 100 pages, this book wouldn't have made sense, I think, if it was 100 pages shorter. I don't know, it just felt slow in the middle for me, and by no means I think it's the story's fault. I think it was just mine because I wanted to finish it, and around the 50% mark I was like, I'm not getting anywhere. First of all, I want to talk about Nami and her naivety towards Firth. I can understand why she is the way she is, because she has been brought up in like a sheltered world, so it does make sense that, you know, she falls head over heels for this guy, and she just believes everything he says. There was one point where they got intimate and she said, it mentioned something about, you know, she has been in relations with other people or other Fathom Folk, and I'm like, yeah, you can see that.
Sarcasm? No.
Anyway, so that was the only problem for me, was Nami's naivety towards the whole drawback situation. It wasn't by any means like a bad thing. How can I explain this? It annoyed me because I knew the situation, or I knew the drawbacks were bad, but she didn't know because she doesn't have, you know, that groundwork. Even though Myra and Kai, I forgot his name for a second, they told her to keep away from the drawbacks, but she had this thing where she really wants the Fathom Folk and the humans to be together, and not to be together, but to see eye to eye. And because they would never see eye to eye, she thought the drawbacks would help the situation. And then what was also upsetting is the fact that Myra, every time she tried to improve on things, the humans would come and they would suppress it. They would put in curfews for the Fathom Folk. They would, I don't know, just suppress the Fathom Folk so much that there was no way she could do anything, no matter what she tried. And in the end, I think it is a difficult situation if you're one person and you're trying to influence a lot of people around you, especially people who are set in their ways. So I do applaud her for working that hard, because you can see the struggles with her, especially when she's trying to solve a few murders that happened as well in this world. And then we also get another part where she's fighting with a sea witch because of a bargain they made, and she's just given up halfway through when the bargain's almost ended. And I don't know, it's It's crazy. This book is crazy. It has so much lore. It has so much subplots that I just enjoyed it so much. And yeah, I don't think Cordelia, on the other hand, she is very sus to me. Like, there were points in time where I thought, yes, she's gonna die. She did not die. So sorry for spoiler alert, but the Sea Witch continues to live. But now she's preparing for something else. Like, the end of the book ended on such a strange manner. I had to go read that epilogue again, and I was like, what? So I don't know. Are we preparing for something crazy? Maybe. But yeah, 5 stars all around. I really enjoyed it, even if the pace was a bit slow in the middle. This book is going to stay with me for a while, because while I'm reading other books, I keep thinking Fathom Folk, and I keep wanting to reread this book. Not a lot of books that elicit these kind of emotions in me, and this book did it so well. And I see it's been compared to Jade City, the trilogy, as well as The Bone Shard Daughter. I haven't read any of those two, but if Fathom Folk is eliciting these feelings in me, I should probably read those, right? But anyway, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Please let me know down below if you think you're going to read Fathom Folk. It's releasing at the end of February, around there, I think. And I really want a physical copy of this book right now. So, but anyway, please let me know if you're going to read this, or if it sounds interesting to you. If you're not going to read it and you just want to leave a comment, leave this dragon emoji comment. And I'll see you guys in the video next week. Bye.